Good afternoon, Facebook and YouTube Barbecue to You audiences. This is Jennifer Noreen. I'm here with Gary Parker, the pitmaster at Barbecue to You in Gig Harbor, Washington. How are you, Gary?
We're doing super duper awesome good.
Good to hear. Good to
Yes.
hear. So I know this has been a busy season because I've seen the orders coming in. You are gearing up for a busy Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yep.
So what's going on at the store? Is that true that it's really busy?
Oh yeah. We have right now. We currently have about 300 pounds of turkey ordered, and I don't know. The boys are getting really close to deciding to cut it off. Supply chain looked really good this year though, so everybody should have been able to get turkey. Um, because you remember the last few years we've had bird flus and all kinds of things that interrupted the turkey flow, and that was a problem. But this year, for the first time in a long time, it's been really easy. That's kind of good. Christmas tree is about to go up. I've got that on my list to do to go get that thing out of storage and get that all. That's about as festive as I get. But anyway, it's it needs to get done. So
Now
we've
that is
got
not that's not a true statement though, because a little bird told me you're doing some Santa Clausing this season.
me Santa Claus. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Yeah, we can talk about that too because senior Santa is coming up, and for those who don't know about that, that's where I dress up like Santa Claus, and one of my good friends ferries me around, and we're make this year we're making 1,500 gift bags, right,
Wow.
for seniors that are during the holiday season are forgotten in in these retirement homes and or don't have family anymore, and they don't really have much hope or anything to look forward to. And so you can imagine what it's like when Santa Claus comes walking through the door with all these gifts and these kinds of things ready to party.
Mhm.
And so we really have a good time with that. We always shed a tear during that, especially when we do the memory ward,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
fun to work with those folks. It's fun to see families come together for pictures because they'll come in and have their family show up the day we're going to be there and get their family photos. And a lot of the ladies really appreciate getting that done because they can't get out into the world to do that anymore. So
Mm.
we love doing our turkey. We love doing our stuff in the store, but the real big impacts are the things we do external this time of year. And Senior Santa is probably the biggest one we do.
Yep. Fun. And so that's you going into the nursing homes. That's not them coming to you. That's you
Right.
getting out. Yeah.
I
Nice.
go to them.
Do you also have your regular senior bingo and senior movie
Yep.
and all that still happening?
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna. This Friday's the is both this weekend actually. Every now and again on the calendar, this happens where we have our Friday, our free senior movie on a Friday, and it also is bingo over at Penmet Parks. Cause we do it in two places now. We do it over at the store every Tuesday, and then
Mhm.
every other Friday at the Penmet Parks Administration Building. And so we're servicing more and more seniors and giving them more and more stuff to do. So it's
Nice.
then opportunities and times to do it in, right?
Yeah. Super fun. Yeah, there's a lot of great things happening at Penn Met Parks. It's awesome to see that whole schedule get filled up. Okay,
Yep.
so today, however, all that aside, wonderful stuff aside, we're here to talk about turkey and all these people that have ordered turkey from you. What do you serve? Well, how do you cook a turkey, Gary? How do you,
Oh
Gary
yeah, I cook
Parker, cook a
it.
turkey? Because it is not how most people that I know anyway cook turkey. So lay
Yeah.
it on us.
So you're my witness. Tell the audience the story here is that last year you consulted me and I told you my method, and you said no way will that work, right?
Mhm.
And then you tried it and you came back and you said, wow,
It's true. You
it's
want me to
true.
tell them what happened?
Sure, tell them what happened.
Well, for one thing, you said to put the turkey in when it's still partially frozen. And the
That's
clue
right.
is if you can just barely pull out that giblet chunk of stuff in the middle of the bird that makes you kind of
Give
gag,
it back. Yep.
if you can get that out, but it's still a little bit frozen, that's when you put it in the oven. That's the
Oven
first
or
thing.
pit.
So the meat is still a bit frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing, which is just, I feel guilty for all turkey cookers here, turkey roasters here, but you're not going to put stuffing in the turkey. My mom is turning over in her grave right now that I'm saying that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
However, last Thanksgiving, when I cooked it without the stuffing in the turkey, guess what happened? The most moist, amazing turkey I think, well, my family's ever seen. I know it's the moistest I've ever seen. So I am completely sold on the idea of arguing with whoever is in the kitchen around you about not putting this stuffing in the turkey, because it absolutely works. And I can't wait to do that again this year.
Yeah.
So those are the two Gary Parker tips right there. Frozen, a little bit frozen, no stuffing in the turkey.
Right. Yeah, and the dark meats will cook faster that way without the bread of the stuffing in there. There's nothing to suck the juice out of the breast, right? Because that's what people will say. They get those beautiful birds, they cut into that breast, and they start serving it on the plate, and it's, oh man, I need some water, because it's dry to the
awkward.
tongue.
Yeah,
right?
So awkward.
And that's what you're trying to avoid in a perfect bird, right? Is you want that moisture in there. So don't give it a reason to leave, and let the meat cook especially in the breast, right? You let the heat come through the turkey from the outside in, and from that open cavity, out towards the center of the breast. And so it'll cook faster. The moisture will stay in because the meat cooks as it melts, right? And then all you got to do is pull that bird as soon as, if you're in a butter ball and you got the little meter and it pops, you pull it out immediately. Or when the bird hits 160 degrees, you pull it immediately and let it rest.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm deep frying or doing something other than roasting a turkey or smoking a turkey, is what we're saying apply to all those methods of cooking?
No, this is an important safety tip. If you're going to do one of those deep fried things, right? Whatever you do not do what I just said. All right, because ice is not good in those deep fry when you're frying in those big grease pots. It will explode on you. But we're talking about when we do this recipe, and I'm very serious about this. I don't want anybody hurt. When we're talking about this, we're talking about ovens, and we're talking about barbecue pits, right? Because you're going to be in there for a long time, and you don't want to dry these birds out. And so we're talking about methods of slow cooking, slow smoking, these kinds of things. If you're going to deep fry that bad boy, and drop it in that 300-degree grease and pull it out, do not in any way, shape, or form have that bird frozen, because it will explode.
Okay.
I don't know how much clearer I can make that, but right, that does worry me that people will try to do that with frozen birds. And if you don't believe me, what it will do, just go out on YouTube or something and look up, turkey disasters, and you'll see what happens when a frozen bird goes into 300-degree grease.
Okay, I got that point. I got it.
Yeah.
So how do you cook a turkey? How do you cook your family's turkey on Thanksgiving?
Well, when I do, I don't always do, but I have the trailer pit, and the deal at my house is Miss Parker likes a traditional oven bird, right? And then I like the smoked turkeys. And so to have fun with the whole idea is sometimes when we feel up to it, we will do two smaller birds, right? She will do the golden, the beautiful golden turkey on the platter. And then I will switch off of oak and I will use mesquite in the pit. Why did I do that? Because when I use mesquite, I'm going to get a red bird, because mesquite will color meat red, and particularly birds, right? And because as it goes through, because it's got a red tint to it to start with. So then you can imagine these two on this large platter. You got these two birds, and one of them's this nice golden color, and this other one's this nice amber color, and it really makes an interesting backdrop on a beautiful Thanksgiving table.
Gotcha. Wow.
So
I'm learning something new every time I talk to you. It's amazing.
There you go.
Okay, so we're doing mesquite in the pit. We're doing don't laugh at me, but what do you mean by trailer pit?
Trailer pit.
I'm not a dude, so what do you mean?
Oh, that's my big barbecue pit, reverse flow cooker that I used to haul around and do events for people with, or I used to go out and do carnivals with, or racing with, or these kinds of things. So that's a cooker, right? And it's a particular type of cooker. It's made by a company called Lang. And it's about 14 feet long, and
Hmm.
it's got a great big firebox on the end of it. And I would haul wood around and do all kinds of fun things and have parties with people. And I'd sit there and cook all day. And when I was practicing, so the trailer pit just simply means it's a pit that's on a trailer with wheels, and you can go driving up and down the highway with it.
Okay, so I don't have to have a trailer pit to make turkey Gary's way. I can just have a good, decent pit, right?
Yeah, you go over to Lowe's, you can get one of those. You can have a green egg. You can. We've talked about different types of pits before, so there's all kinds of them. There's reverse flow, there's flow throughs, there's small ones. There's thin. Remember we had the discussion about really great ones have really thick metal or they're made out of ceramic and things like that. So
Cheap steel.
yeah, and so it's all a matter about how much work you want to do. Then
Hmm.
there's the whole topic of, what's the best bourbon to drink while you're smoking turkey? And, that I guess that could be for another show.
Yeah, I'm all over that. Some people marinate their turkeys in booze, like
Some people
beer.
brine them, you
Yeah.
know, but I've never seen the point. If you really know how to infuse flavor with smoke or with, even in the traditional methods in the oven, right? I haven't seen the need for it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, at least not the way that I cook anyway. So,
Yeah.
even when you put
Okay.
them in the oven in the bag and you shove all the vegetables and all that kind of stuff in there too, it's all, those cases, it's all about steam. I mean, you're cooking with steam, you're not really cooking with heat when you do that. That's the purpose of the bag. And that keeps everything really moist. But it can also, while it's steaming, if you got all those vegetables in there, you will pick up a very rich and savory injection of flavor into the bird, right? And that's one of the things that makes a really perfectly cooked oven-based turkey, so awesome is that very savory flavor in it.
Okay. So we have the turkey. We have the pit. What else do we have for Gary Parker's turkey?
Well, that pretty much gets the turkey. Now let's go see
Mesquite.
what we're gonna have with it.
Okay.
So, what's your favorite wine to have with turkey on Turkey Day?
I like medium blends. I'm not a big wine drinker, but I don't like super dry and I don't like super. I like medium red
So
blends.
maybe a
That's
Merlot.
sure.
Merlots are good. Merlots are
Sounds
really
good.
good with bird. I know it may
Yep.
not be there's a wine snob out there someplace that's going to tell me no, you never do that. But I'll tell you
Yep.
what, I like what I like, and that's really a good wine. Texas sweet tea with your turkey
Yep.
dinner.
Oh yeah.
Um, you know,
Got some
and did you
dark
know? Here's a
sugar
trivia
going.
thing. You wanted to learn another thing. Do you know that True Texas sweet tea has baking soda in it?
No, because my
Yep.
southern my
Yes, it
previous
does.
southern family did not put baking soda in their sweet tea.
It doesn't take much. It's not very much, but when you do it, it
Interesting.
completely changes the flavor profile. And that's one of the secrets behind Texas sweet tea is to include a little bit of that baking soda in there. So now you
Okay.
got tea, you got your glass of wine, you got your turkey all cooked up real pretty. I guess we got to
Mhm.
talk about what we're going to have with it. All
Yes.
right.
Let's move on to sides.
Move on to sides. Well, we'll start with the store slides.
Okay.
Many people will make deviled eggs, right? And we love doing that because I love deviled eggs and I love the little shorty sweet pickles. Those are some of my favorite things. My grandkids absolutely go crazy over the black olives, right?
Mhm.
And we got all kinds of pictures of them putting them on all five fingers and getting their picture taken and all kinds of stuff like that.
But are these
Um,
things that people can get at the store, or are these things?
yeah,
Are you talking about things that they can order with their turkey? If they order from Barbecue to You, what are their sides
uh,
options?
Well, really, my sides don't change, right? So we can talk about that. So most of the people, well, first of all, on holidays, a lot of people actually eat brisket, particularly on the Christmas holiday,
Mm-hmm.
rather than turkey.
Mm-hmm.
But but your questions around my store, and my store is going to be, with the turkey, they'll get the deviled egg potato salad. 'Cause that saves the trouble of making deviled eggs, right? And so you kind of
Mm-hmm.
get two in one with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some will some will get coleslaw, but most of it's deviled egg potato salad and mac and cheese are the big things
Mm-hmm.
that go home with people, right? When they come to
Mm-hmm.
pick up their turkey,
Mm-hmm.
they love it just saves them so much time, right? They're already going to be there buying the turkey anyway, And so why not pick up that deviled egg and potato salad, and why not pick up the mac and cheese while you're there? And then you can go home and just focus on your family favorites that you're going to put together yourself, right?
Okay. So talk about this one.
Mrs. Parker. Oh yeah. I mean, for the 42, 43 years that me and Miss Parker have been married, she's always made her version of the green bean salad. And not salad. This is a casserole. It's
green bean casserole. Yeah.
Green bean casserole. Wow. You had a typo there.
Gotta fix that.
You know, and she's very basic about it. You know, she has the beans and she has the cream of mushroom soup and whatever else goes into it. And she puts the you know, the onion strings on top of it, and you know, and, it's always it's one of my first go-tos, right? When we get to the table, because it's just that kind of good. And you know, then we go around. We love the candied yams. There's another one of my favorites, particularly when she puts marshmallows on them. We have fresh bread we make. Trying to think, there's so many things that Miss Parker makes that it's almost embarrassing sometimes. But yeah, she makes her own stuffing, and she makes her see, I did relish trays. I'm missing a big one. Oh, she makes mashed potatoes too, right? Garlic mash. So our table is pretty full when it comes to Thanksgiving, you know, because now you can sit back and you can think about everything we talked about. We got wine, we got tea, we got two birds, we've got all these, we got deviled eggs and relish trays, and we got all these sides on it, and it's truly a feast, right? And the way we put it together. Yeah, my favorite part is I get to eat it for about 3 days after that, so I can make sandwiches because I love my sandwiches, right?
Yep.
And so yeah, and but that's pretty much the, you know, the highlights of the Parker or the Parker Thanksgiving.
You didn't talk about this one.
Glazed ham. Now that's a different kind of story. That's usually for us. That's a New Year's thing. How many people remember the Texas or the Southern tradition of what you have to eat on New Year's Day? Right? You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember it?
No, I was raised Catholic. We didn't have big New Year's Day stuff, and no, you have to educate me.
So you have to eat ham. You have to have greens. You have to have black-eyed peas. And
that
greens
I remember.
Right? There is no other meal for a Southerner, right? Greens are for money, and black-eyed peas are for luck, and for the like of me, I'm forgetting what the ham is all about. But you know, there's this old wives' tale, right? And everybody celebrates that menu for New Year's. And so glazed hams. Do you realize that smoked hams, right, are really hams that have already been cooked, just like the ones you go get in the store? And guys like me throw them in the pit and heat them up, let some smoke get on them, and then we can throw a bunch of brown sugar and these kinds of stuff on there, which will melt. And you've got a beautiful glaze, and it's got a beautiful flavor, particularly when that brown sugar starts to darken, kind of like what would happen on a creme brulee, but only on a ham. And oh man, let me tell you something. That a smoked ham is just really great. It's slow. We never talked about it because it's already been cooked, right? We're not too worried about getting it done. You don't have to do all that render stuff. You can really sit there and baby it along and really put some beautiful flavors into it. And so yeah, so that's usually the New Year's tradition. Ham, greens, and black-eyed peas.
Wow. Okay. Sounds like we all need to visit the Parker household for New Year's Day. Sounds like. Oh, was that New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? New Year's Day, right? Are you talking about New Year's Day or New Year's Eve?
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
Yeah. New Year's Eve, we're busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Popping out. You know, celebrating, opening the front door, letting all the old year out and the new year in, and all that kind of thing.
Yep, I hear you. So if I've already ordered turkey from Barbecue to You and I'm going, oh, that's right, what about sides? I should add those. What would be the most expedient way for me to add that to my order that I've already placed?
No, if you're gonna do a lot, right? Then give us a call. Like if you need large trays or
Mhm.
half trays or things like that. If you just need like a bowl, what would be equivalent to a bowl full, like a home casserole dish or something like that
Mhm.
full. Don't worry about it. Just come pick it up. All right, it's sitting over there like it is every day, and we can just shovel it up and put it into a container for you, and you can take it right on home and pour it in your container. But if you're going to do a lot, if you're going to do something the size of a half tray or a full tray, it's really best if you call us back up and try to get us to answer the phone. I know it's hard sometimes, folks, but the boys are busy and they're doing stuff, and they will get to it when they can. Thanks.
It's just what makes you a barbecue joint. The grumpy, overworked young man at the counter trying to serve the customer in front of them. Just think of that customer in front of them that they're serving. I guess that's what I do. I just talk
Right.
fast and hang up. That's funny. All right. Well, very good. So, when is the cutoff date for ordering turkey?
Today.
Okay, so today you have till 8 p.m. today, people, to order your turkey for Thanksgiving, and after that, it's over. And then what about for Christmas? What do you want to say for Christmas? They have to have it
Well,
in by.
we'll start Christmas orders. We really start them now if you want. And 'cause there's no artificial deadline or start line, right? If you
Mhm.
know you're going to want brisket or turkey or something like that for your Christmas dinner, go ahead and tell the boys because we've got envelopes that hold all these orders, right? So
Mhm.
one of them's just marked Thanksgiving, one of them's marked Christmas, one of them's marked New Year's, and you come in, you just tell them what they want. They're gonna put that all down, and then as we get close to that date, they pull them all out, they add up how many pounds we've got, they create a cook plan, and then they get that stuff all ready to go, right? It's not like the first year where we didn't quite have a system. This year, these last few years, Carlton and Trevor and those guys, they've got this hardcore system that they're following, and it almost guarantees perfection. Almost, I will never stand up and say something's perfect yet, but they try really hard. And like I said, it's something when you're doing 300 plus pounds, and the average order is 3 pounds, right? And you're serving them all. You got them all packaged cold, because you're going to come in and get them the day before Thanksgiving, because we're going to be closed on Thanksgiving, right?
Mhm.
And so you come and get it all cold. It's already in a pan for you. It's all sealed up. We give you instructions about how to heat it up, and then whenever you're ready, you can go have your oven already and warm that thing up, and it will be just perfect.
What one question that is coming in quite often is what is the minimum order? What's the
There's
minimum
no
order for turkey for the holiday?
Yeah, we're going to tell you that if you only want a couple slices, we're going to tell you to come on in. But the average turkey breasts kind of come in chunks or in chunky sizes, because not all birds are the same. So the smaller ones can be 2.5 pounds, and then the larger ones can be around 4. Occasionally we get a 5, and so that's kind of the range. And so we're kind of watching that. To be fair with you, when we're taking those orders, and when we do the cook plan, we're kind of looking around and going, okay, that one will fit this person, this one will fit that person. It's kind of like a little bit of a Tetris game, right?
Mhm.
But so far, every year we've done this, we've been able to get it right. And a lot of times we don't have to slice those things up. We can just put the whole chunk there, right? And the boys have got a method that they follow when they do that. And, it's so far it's worked pretty well.
Yeah, so I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask you for a story
Story.
relative to the holidays, either Christmas or Thanksgiving. You've got to have a story of a mishap that happened with the delivery or
Nope.
some kind of something around
Nope.
delivering and being ready for the holidays with this community. Is there anything that comes to mind?
No, because I'm a logistics freak show, to start with, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Carlton is too, and so is
Uh-huh.
Trevor. And so I don't really have a negative story. And there might have been somebody out there that, didn't appreciate the product or doing something like that, because you can't make everybody happy. But there's been no really big thing going on. The story that I will tell you is, I actually do get inundated with people asking me about, will you do me a full size turkey? And you
Mm-hmm.
guys know that I can't fit full size turkeys in that pit, right? And have any type of capacity because I'd have to remove over half the shelves in order to get them in there and create a cook process. So I only do breasts at the store, but I still get asked if I'll do whole birds for people, right? And so, there's one year I almost worked myself to death because I actually, was kind and said yes, right? And then
Mm.
it grew into, well, if I said yes there, I'm going to go to all the trouble to fire up this pit and do this stuff. Then I need to go ahead and make the pit full. So I said yes a few more times, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it took me a couple days to cook the full birds that year, and I was so tired I didn't get the rest. And as you know, I do need to rest from time to
Yeah.
time.
It's when you
Right?
avoid Gary. Avoid Gary. Ask him how much sleep he's had, and proceed.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
so that's my story. Is I'm always careful not to try my best not to overtax myself. I have to remember
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 30, I'm 63, and
Mm-hmm.
um, and so I don't recover as fast as I used to.
Yep, I hear you. So, so no stories. How about the largest turkey order you've ever had? Is there one?
Hmm.
Like, what's the
I never
biggest
looked.
amount of meat you've ever delivered to a home for a meal?
Um, Not that. What comes to mind when you ask that question is I used to have turkey on the wedding menu, on the wedding catering menu,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we would. Well, actually, the biggest one. I'll tell you the wedding story in a minute. The biggest one is the one I just did. No, but that's not turkey. That's next. Um, I want to do turkey. I haven't done it yet, but I think I'll do it next year. So the next year one that I'm planning on right now
Mm-hmm.
is the November Veterans Day event. Okay, and I was just having this conversation. So this is a good story. So for the Veterans Day event on every year on November 11th for the last 2 years, I have
Mm-hmm.
done the meals for that event. It's the biggest indoor event I think in the country for veterans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so last year we did 400 vets in this auditorium, and I fed them in about 50 minutes, right? And everybody got a hot plate and all this kind of stuff, which was outstanding. This year we did the same menu, which was as last year, and I did 489 plates in basically I think they said 58 minutes, so just under an hour.
Wow.
Right. And so that was pretty cool. So now the discussion is, well, we've had the pulled pork chicken menu now 2 years in a row for this event. And
Mm-hmm.
so the person I was talking to last night says, what would it take to do turkey? Right. And so we've had this discussion now about, okay, if you do turkey, you got to do gravies, you got to do salt, pepper, you've got to do all this other overhead, right? So it's a good possibility that I'll do my biggest turkey order will be next year when I do somewhere between 400 and 500 people with a turkey dinner, if all that works out
At the vet event.
at the vet event. Yeah, you're
Mhm.
showing it right there. I don't know if you've ever got a picture of the crowd, how big the crowd is and how big that airplane hangar is, but yeah, it's pretty interesting when you look at how many people you feed that in that short a time. And I got wonderful. By the way, I want to do a call out on that. I have wonderful helpers. The ladies from Kiwanis come and help me make plates. That's one of them right there that you got the picture up right now. And then so then the question is, how do I get it out away from my kitchen area fast enough? And the Navy Junior ROTC come in, and we got these gigantic bread racks, right? And so we'll load up 15, 20 plates at a time already made and they're running back and forth feeding the crowd and stuff. So it's a full-blown operation, right? By the time I get it all running and getting it all set up. So yeah, next year they're trying to talk about menu, and I've kind of started talking about, well, let's try a real challenge and say, how do we do turkey and gravy?
Yeah, it's such a great event, and your food is such a good fit for it, in my opinion. I mean, it's just such
Yep.
a great thing that you do there, and people just appreciate it so much having that hot meal. And you can truly see the teamwork that goes into that event. It's amazing. Okay, so what's currently going on with your philanthropy? So the Veterans Day event is wrapped up. I think we can say that was a huge success.
Yeah.
What's coming up besides the standard senior movies, senior bingo?
Yeah, this time of year we don't try to add too much more. I am considering, and we're getting ready for Senior Santa, so that's a lot of work, right?
Mhm.
I mean, because these gift bags we've got, especially when you're doing 1,500 of them, they got coffee mugs in them, they've got socks in them, they've got lip
Yeah,
balms and hand sanitizers and candies um, that takes a lot of our time, but I am trying to squeeze in the next couple of weeks here a trip to Java and Clay here in town. Right
nice.
now, if you guys don't know
Mhm.
what Java and Clay is because you don't live around here. It is a craft, kind of a craft coffee shop, fairly large. And what they do is they have blank, unfired pottery,
Mhm.
cups and plates and platters and what have yous, incense burners, all kinds of stuff, right? And what we do is we let 25 seniors sign up for that, 25, and we pick a date and we go down there and meet them down there and we give them a budget, right?
Mhm.
That includes probably the majority of all the items in there. We can't do the real expensive ones for everybody, but nor do they want to do them, right? But the stuff that they want to create for gifts and this kind of stuff. And then, so we give them that budget and we let them do the whole operation for free. We take care of it.
Mhm.
And, which is something that they wouldn't normally get to do because it's quite expensive.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and so they have the best time, and then they get to go back, a week later after they've fired it and glazed it and did everything right, and
Mhm.
pick up their creation. And I really like doing that. That's a ton of fun, and I'm really trying to time carve out of my schedule to facilitate that and make that happen. You know.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And there's just keeping them busy and out in the community is so important. It's a great thing that you do there, and it's good to
Yeah.
see.
So the other thing
So
The other
go
thing I'll
ahead.
probably share with the world is this year, for all that philanthropy type of stuff that we're doing with seniors, we have received the company is called OCS, right? Olympic Civic Services is my nonprofit, right?
Mhm.
And so this year we have received two awards, um, one of which from Pinmet Parks, where we won the Betty Lilienthal Advocacy Award for our
Mhm.
work with seniors, and that's a big honor here locally. And then one of the retirement centers, it's called Heron's Key. They have a giving group, right, a grants group, and they have awarded us as well this year
Nice. Wow.
with a
Cool.
nice award. So those things are in the works, and here in December we will attend those meetings and receive those awards, and we're very 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 proud of the work we've done and the fact that we're recognized for doing that work.
And when you say we,
Yeah, my
what do you
partner
say?
and I, you guys
Mhm.
really remember that on the nonprofit side, my good friend Joe Hillier, who owns and runs Home Watch Caregivers, right? Him and I
Mhm.
started this thing about I don't know 5 or 6 years ago
Mhm.
now, and that because we both agreed that seniors needed to do have more to do, and it was really a simple thought: how do we go do this? And so we created that nonprofit to do it, and it's been a big success. It's just been when we let it grow very organically, and so now it's making a big enough impact where large organizations are watching, and the advocacy of it all, and rewarding us for it.
Nice. Yeah, that's good to see. It's really, and I know that people see what you're doing and appreciate so much spending money at a restaurant that's giving back to the community in that way,
Yeah,
whether it's through Barbecue to You funds or through Olympic Civic Services. I think it's very
true.
visible in the community, very fun,
Yep.
more than running a restaurant. So, okay, so today's the deadline for turkey ordering, and then we move on to Christmas holiday turkey ordering. We'll be talking to you guys again mid next month before the holiday. If you have questions or you just want to chat up a catering event or something you have coming up, you're not sure how to fill out the form online, feel free to call the store directly. As always, 253-313-5656. I'll put it up on the screen there for you. Is there anything else you want to mention before we wrap up, Gary?
Yeah, there's one more thing. Since I have you already, there was a lady who won a contest for a large turkey sandwich, right?
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the contest was we run. Maybe you'll remember. But anyway,
trying to get comments on the turkey. The turkey photos are like cult-like. I don't know what it is about the turkey photo, but people love your turkey and they love that photo. And we got a huge response. So I said, okay, let's take this thing to 100 likes. And then she was one of the people that commented. So I just did a casual drawing and she won a monster turkey sandwich.
And so she has donated it back or given me the responsibility to give it to somebody in need. And so one of the things that we need to make plans on for is I will probably give that to either a senior or a senior couple, because a lot of times those things you can cut them in half and be a meal for each of them. And so when we do that day, we need to get some video on that and add it to our show here so that the world can see that, the happiness that's going to bring.
Okay, so Gary's going to choose a senior couple to receive a free monster turkey sandwich. It does make sense for two people because I don't know about you, but I can barely ever finish one of those things. They are ginormous. They're so delicious. You get a decent 3 or 4 slices of their smoked turkey on those sandwiches. So it is a meal. And I'm sure Gary will throw in a couple sides happily. So, all right, well, we'll be looking for Gary's selection and we'll be putting that on the site. Nice all smiles picture from the people that received the free turkey sandwich. And thank you to the woman that donated, Debbie Frost, who donated the prize that she won. And so now we have a new contest going, and Gary might kill me for this, but I offered Big Red Soda in December. We have an Instagram contest going for people are also very cult-like about Big Red Soda. It like makes them cry. It's a Texas thing. And so we're going to track down some Big Red Soda. We'll do a 6-pack at least for the winner of that contest. So we'll be announcing that probably going into Christmas. So there it is.
Yeah, so there's one more that we'll tell the world about that was extremely successful. This is kind of half barbecue, half philanthropy. But, we all know about the recent government shutdown, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that thing went kind of a long time. We have a lot of government workers here because we have the shipyard and so on and so forth. And there was just it was starting to get rough on people. So we had this wild idea one day, you know about it, where we were going to we offered a sandwich, chips, and drink for $5 for any furloughed government employee, right? And I was just looking at some of the numbers over the last month, and that thing was very popular. Right. Once the word got out and people found out about it, they were coming and they really appreciated it. We got lots of really great comments on doing that. And we will do it again if those kind of things happen again. Because we really have learned the impacts of some of the government things locally on basic things like being able to eat and that kind of stuff. Right. So we put that special together and it's been a very big success. And so that will go into our portfolio of things we do when, the economies do what they do.
Can you think of how many you think you might have given out on that?
I haven't done the whole analysis over the time yet. So
yeah. You also did this. Don't forget.
Right.
See the screen. Yeah. You also did the Veterans $5 meal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to convince Gary to do more of that. Some of the backstory here is that Gary refuses to do specials, which as a marketing professional can kind of make you want to pull your hair out because we know that the community wants specials offered to them. They want deals on food, right? Most of Gary's competitors offer them, but no. If you're really good at what you do and your food is in demand, you don't do discounts. So for Gary to be offering these $5 specials is pretty monumental. I've worked with him for a long time now. And this is, I think this is absolutely the first time that we've done this kind of a thing. So it's exciting and I'm looking forward to doing more. Maybe we can do something for the Christmas holiday. It's very fun. So
Yeah, and
All
I
right.
like this because it had all three logos on there from Joe and myself, and from the nonprofit together. And so it really showed the alignment between our companies, right, and how we do what we do.
It did, and I'm glad you talked about Olympic Civic Services today, because I think sometimes people wonder what that is, and now we're all, it's out there what that is. So, yeah, these are primary sponsors of that offer, and we'll do more of that in the future for sure. So, well, thanks, Gary. Thanks for your time. It's always good to hear from you. You're a busy man, and I appreciate you sharing all the information you did. You'll be seeing some snippets of this information online. The full video will be on the website. If you have questions in the meantime or want to chat up catering with Gary or one of his team, please call the store. So thank you and happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.